What's up, everybody, and welcome. Today, we're understanding paid search advertising. We're looking at platforms, we're looking at types, we're looking at best practices. So, welcome to the world of paid advertising, paid search advertising, where we are going to dive deep into the intricacies of paid search. We're going to start from understanding the prominent platforms where it operates, the various ad types that businesses can deploy, and the best practices that can really enhance the effectiveness of their campaign. So let's get to it. We're starting off with paid search advertising, and paid search advertising really, it refers to the ad that businesses place on search engine pages. Here's the thing. Every day, billions of searches are made on platforms like Google, like Bing, like Yahoo. Yes, I said Yahoo. It's still there. All right. Amidst all these organic results, you'll likely notice that there are some advertisements that seem to be tailored specifically to whatever your query is, whatever you're asking. These, my friends, are not there by chance. Businesses, they pay to have their ads appear when a specific keyword is searched. Okay. So they ensure that these people, these paid customers, are reaching their potential customers right when they actively are looking for related products and services. And as we continue, you have to know that it's a critical component in digital marketing mix and that it drives immediate and measurable results. So here's the thing. We have traditional form of advertising where you'd put your advertisement and then you'd have to wait. But this, unlike the traditional forms of advertising, where gauging that impact can be really just tedious, paid search advertising offers immediacy. It offers it right then and there. So the moment an ad is live, it has the potential to be clicked. Every click, every impression, and conversion is tracked. And of course, we're going to talk about what these mean, but all of them are tracked. And that allows the businesses to measure their investment down to the penny. Really, it is that specific. And so this level of reporting and measuring outcomes, it makes it an invaluable tool for marketers aiming for a precise and efficient campaign management. And here today, throughout all of this, you're going to gain that insight into the most impactful channels and formats so that you can use this as well. You can grow your businesses or grow your understanding of what paid search engine or search advertising actually is. Before we get to know exactly what it is, we have to know where it lives. So where does paid search advertising exist? Well, it predominantly is found on search engines where users actively seek information, products, or services. What you have to do is you have to imagine the modern day consumer. The moment they have a question or a need, their instinct often directs them to a search engine. That's what you do, right? You're sitting in the middle of a friend group, you're hanging out with them, you're talking to each other. And the first thing you do, like, okay, I have this question. Oh, I'll look it up, right? These platforms have become really just a gateway to a vast information. It's truly, it's like a super highway of information. And these critical moments of active search, paid advertisers can intersect the users and they offer an immediate solution or an immediate answer. And this is this in the moment engagement. This is what sets paid advertisements apart from any form of advertisement, making it very highly impactful. So, what are the major platforms where these things live? You've got Google, you've got Bing, you've got Yahoo, you've got DuckDuckGo, and of course, you've got other ones as well. But DuckDuckGo is one of those platforms where it really focuses on privacy and data. So it's very akin to Google and Bing and all these things. So if you haven't heard of that one, that's what that is. And of course, there are other search engines that are specific to certain things. So like the money that they raise goes to something else. I do know there's one that I can't recall the name at the moment, but I do know that there's one that focuses on planting trees. So that's kind of a neat thing. All right, so each of these search engines, it offers its advertising platforms with a specific feature and audience reach. So it's not just about where to advertise, but also how. You have to know that each of these search engine businesses, they provide you with unique tools, features, and targeting options tailored to their ecosystem, to their market base. For example, you've got Google Ads, and Google Ad might be or might offer extensive analytics. It might offer integrations with its suite of product, whereas Bing, it may provide a better visibility on Microsoft integrated products, which is a huge, huge, huge part of the market. You've also got DuckDuckGo, which again, as mentioned before, it emphasizes on privacy and it translates to a different user demographics. Really, like there is a specific sector of people who look for privacy. And if that is your market, then that's where you have to be. Whereas Google may not be the place for you. Again, each one can attract a different kind of advertisers, and that's what you have to keep in mind. So the nuances of each of these businesses, the nuances of each of these platforms can help you tailor it to your target market. And that's, buddy, that's what you have to do. That is what you have to do. Let's start with the biggest one. You guys want to start with the biggest one? Let's do this with Google search. Okay. Google is the world's leading search engine. It captures a massive chunk of each search query globally. What do you do when you want to research something? Odds are you say, okay, let me Google it. Even if you're not using Google, you'll most likely say, let me Google it. It has over 90% of the global search market, and it processes billions of queries each day from users all over the world. So this dominance, what that means for most businesses is that having a presence on Google is not just beneficial, it's more often than not, it is essential. It's essential to do this. Whereas someone who's searching, for a nearby restaurant, a solution to a product, a solution to a problem, a product review, Google is typically the first port of call. That's it. That's what they do. Right. What does it do? It offers advertisers a wide range of targeting options and formats. So beyond just the basic keyword targeting, Google boasts a suite of sophisticated tools that allow advertisers to refine their audience based on location. They also do things based on demographics, interests, behaviors, and even specific devices that they use. So if they're using a mobile phone, that could be a bit different than when they're using their laptop to search for something. And so the format, they vary from the classic text ad, the ones that you see on top, to the visually engaging display ads where video promotion on YouTube is available, or when you have immersive shopping experiences. These are all different forms of ads that you as a business can use in hopes of getting your audience's attention or your customer's base attention. So what this does, it gives you flexibility to brand your crafted campaigns to tailor to the specific goals that may be driving sales, or it may be raising awareness, or it may be generating leads, whatever the case is. You can make it very specific to what you're doing. And because it has such a vast user base, advertising on Google often yields a high visibility and high return. There is just a sheer volume of daily users. So you have to keep that in mind. Not just that, Google also has this advanced algorithm that uses user-centric focus. So ads are displayed to users at the moment that they are highly relevant, and that increases the likelihood of engagement. So all that data that Google's collecting is actually being used for your benefit as well, so that you can make sure that what you are doing is working. And they help you do that. They make sure that their algorithm is always doing that as well. Next up on our list is the Bing search. Bing is powered by Microsoft, and it is another key player in the search engine game, in the search engine market. So very big, because basically any Microsoft product has Bing already incorporated into it. So you have to keep that in mind. And what it does, it caters to a unique user base. They're often older and they're often more affluent. So Bing users demographics, it skews differently, from Google. And the studies have suggested that Bing users actually tend to be older in the age bracket, so often over 35 and above. These are the people that are using these kind of products. Usually, if you work for a company, you often have the Microsoft suite instead of the Google suite when you're talking about emails and things like that. And if you do that, then most likely you have a Microsoft product. And generally, those are the people that are 35 and above. That being said, usually that demographic has a higher disposable income. And this particular user base, it can be a gold mine for advertisers targeting products or services or B2B solutions, or really any other niche that is that resonates more with older and wealthier audience. So you want to tap into this audience because it provides businesses, or as a business, it will provide you with the access to consumers who have a greater prosperity and a greater ability to spend money. And again, if you're doing this as a marketer, you also are responsible for the business. So that is what you're doing. And even though it's smaller in volume than when compared to Google, Bing offers a very competitive cost per click, or CPC, and quality audience. And it's really true that it is significantly smaller, but that can be used as an advantage for advertisers. So with less competition, a lot of people find that the CPC on Bing can be specifically lower. It can be more cost effective because there's less competition there, and it is targeted towards that kind of demographic. It might be small in number, but it could be potent in terms of quality. And so a well-targeted campaign on Bing can yield impressive returns. And that offers great value for advertisers that are really just seeking to maximize that investment. Other ones, you have Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, etc., things like that. And these are niche opportunity for advertisers. That's what they are. And they may not be dominant in terms of search engines, but they do have their place. So Yahoo, for example, is one of the internet's pioneers. It still retains a loyal user base in certain regions and demographics. It's still there, especially when we're talking about things in finance. It is a very important that you know that, right? So a lot of things when it comes to finance, Yahoo is the place to go. Again, we mentioned that DuckDuckGo really focuses on privacy, and it hasn't been there for as long as Yahoo per se, but it emerged as a response to the growing concern over online privacy, and that's what it is. And so each of these platforms, they present a unique avenue that advertisers can leverage, and that allows them to engage with the audience that they might not be able to reach on mainstream engines. So DuckDuckGo, for instance, it prioritizes privacy. We've said that a billion times already. You should know this by now, but it attracts a very specific demographic that deals with tech data practices, for example, or privacy conscious. And that means for advertiser, it's an opportunity to engage with that demographic that most often they will not be on Google because they are worried about their data, because they are worried about transparency and discretion of their online interactions. So if that is your normal or that is your desired customer base, you don't want to be on Google. You're not going to find them there. You're going to be on DuckDuckGo. Okay. Last thing about this. Volume is less, but they offer strategic values for a certain campaign. So you really kind of have to test it out. Is this for you? Is this not for you? And keep that going depending on who your target market is. And that's always what's keeping us in mind. Different types of search ads that you may run into. You have search ads that can be categorized based on format, purpose, and placement. Okay. So advertisers have really a plethora of options, and each of these is tailored to the needs and the goals of you as a client that is paying for these ad spots. So depending on where they appear, what they aim to achieve, and how they present their content, search ads can be segmented into various types. And really, understanding these categories is essential because the effectiveness of an ad can really be influenced by its format and strategic placement. So you could have a great ad, but if it's not placed in the right place at the right time, it will not be seen as you'd like it to be seen. And truthfully, it will not yield the results you'd like it to yield. So that's something to keep in mind. That being said, they range from simple text ad to complex dynamic shopping ad. And at its most basic, a search ad might be a simple text-based message that really just appears above an organic search result. It looks like it. It's just blends in, but it's first, so people intuitively just click on it. And the modern advertising platforms offer a lot more sophisticated tools. So we have rich media ads, which can incorporate images and interactivity. We have shopping ads, which can dynamically pull from an online store inventory. It displays real-time prices. It shows availability, and it shows user reviews so that each product is there and you're kind of competing for a product spot. And let's say you are searching for a specific type of shoes and you type that into the search engine, you type that into Google, and all of a sudden you have 5 stores that have that. Then you can compare prices, you can compare if they're having sales, you can compare the rating that people are giving that store and so forth, that store, that product. Apart from that, you have video search ads, and they can be what they can do is really just captivate that user with engaging motion content. So each format provides different engagement metrics and really just different conversion potentials, and it depends on the user's intent and the product or services being advertised. Okay, so selection, it often depends on advertisers' objective, their budget, and their target. So not all formats are equal, and the best choice isn't always the flashiest or most complex. A local service business might have the best ROI from a straightforward, not complex text, or just simple there, whatever. Whereas if you're having an e-commerce giant, they might really just invest heavily in dynamic shopping ads to showcase the vast inventory. So something like Walmart, for example, they could probably benefit from having dynamic shopping ads. And you see that. If you look it up, you'll see that. You'll see that in comparison with other places as well. Next up, we have text ads. So let's kind of break this down. Text ads, you guys, are the most common type of search results, and they are the first things that typically people see. These are sponsored listings that appear at the top or the bottom of the search result page, and they become the staple in the digital marketing arena because of their straightforward format. That's it. They have a straightforward format. They have an ease of creation, so they're really easy to create, and they have a direct approach. And with billions of search conducted daily, these ads really have the potential to reach a vast audience, and they are generally the solution that people are looking for. I'm sure you've seen them. You've seen them on Google all the time. They're usually the top 3 spots that you see. They are composed of a consistent headline, a display URL, and a description. That means that the anatomy of the text ad, even though it's simple, it is designed for maximum impact, and that impact within a limited space. So you want to condense your words to make sure that they have the biggest impact, yet they are not taking up the largest space, because they can't, right? There's often a character limit on each of these. And so you have the headline, which grabs attention. It often directly addresses the user's search query, right? If you're asking a question, that's the answer. Then you have the display URL, and that provides a sense of destination. It can, depending on the words that you use it can indicate where the user will land after they click. So let's say if you have a link that says www.example.com/subscription, then you know, as the person who's doing the search, if you see subscription, they're taking you to a subscription page where more often than not, you are going to subscribe to something. The next thing we have is the description, and that elaborates a little bit more on the offer, and it answers the question, why should I click? Very important. While we often don't think about it when we're searching, but the description is actually very important. It leads us to actually clicking on the page or clicking away from it and clicking something else. So you want to do is provide the users with enough information to generate a click through while maintaining a very brief description. And lastly, the text ad, it consists of concise text, it consists of relevant text, and it contains a very clear call to action. I cannot stress that enough. Clear call to action, learn more, buy now, get a quote. It acts as a directive, and it guides the user's next step. It may be intuitive. You're sitting there thinking, okay, obviously that's what they're going to do. They're going to click. But no, a good guidance really just helps speed things along. And that's something that you want to do. Next up, we have shopping ads. And shopping ads, they display the product directly. They show images, they show price, and they show store names. That's a little bit of what we talked about earlier. And what it has is, what is different is that it uses not only words to show the product or to explain the product, but it has a visual component, and that allows us to showcase the products that we want to advertise. And by displaying the actual image of the product along with the price and the store name, the advertisers, they offer an immediate wealth of information to potential buyers. This is kind of like a digital storefront where the users can think about it as like window shopping, right? You're window shopping, you see something you like, you click on it, you go inside the virtual store, essentially what it is. It's very important for e-commerce businesses. So if you have an e-commerce business, that's where you should be. And it offers users a visual shopping experience. Again, it's very important. A lot of us prefer visual things over written text because they are easier to process. Lastly, this type of ad, it generates, or it generally leads to a higher conversion rate because the way it is set up, because its information nature is a bit different. Again, things like image, price, store name, upfront, these are all very, very, very important, and they eliminate a lot of the guesswork for the users. So the person searching knows exactly if this is a trusted brand, this is not a trusted brand. Can I trust this website? If it's something like Walmart, more often than not, you can trust that website. If it's something like Ashley and Jesse's bridal shop, we don't know. We don't know. Do we trust you? We don't know if this is true. Is this not true, right? But people end up clicking, and that's the good portion of it. So you have the image, you have the price, and you have the store name. No guesswork. That's all out the window. Our next search type is the local search ad. And local search ads, they target users based on their location. So if you are in New York and you're looking for pizza, there is a reason why pizzerias in California don't show up. And do not tell me that it's because they're not that good. Anyways, just sidestepping. Going back to the actual local search ads. Okay, so there is a reason why they don't show up. And it's not because they're not good. It's not because they are better. It is because it depends on the location where someone is searching. So it focuses on the location. And by doing that, businesses, they can really ensure that their ad spend is directed towards potential customers who are logistically placed to act upon the ad. So if you want them to visit the store, if you want to make a purchase, or if you have another form of engagement that they need to do locally, it has to start with these things. This thing is perfect for brick and mortar businesses because they often display a map, they often display a direction, a phone, order now button. All of these are available in the local search ad. And one of the biggest things that people now add all over the place is near me. And these are near me searches where local ads can drive significant foot traffic to a particular location. Our next category is images and video ads. You've seen them everywhere. And they appear on Google's partner sites like YouTube. And really, they offer a richer media experience. Images and video ads, they have this visual-centric format that allows the advertisers to convey their message in a more dynamic manner than the traditional text ads. And so you have displayed ads that come across Google's partner sites. That includes blogs, news sites, and other niche platforms. These are generally images. We also have YouTube. And these ads allow the brand to tap into that diverse audience. Beyond mere visibility, they provide a more immersive experience, capturing attention through vibrant visual movements and sound. So, who are they ideal for? They're ideal for brand awareness and storytelling campaigns. Text ads and shopping ads, they may be geared towards direct response, immediate conversion. Images and videos, they take a longer time and they play the game for the long haul, not just immediate response. So what they do is they shine light, or they really come to life when they are building brand recognition and crafting a negative. So whether it's like this 30-second video that adds or tugs at the heartstrings of people, or this striking image banner that leaves an impression, these formats allow brands to create a memorable touch point so that when someone is thinking about a product, they think about that particular brand. So it's not about the moment, it is later on that it left such an impact that it moves it. So due to their engaging nature, they often result in higher user interaction rates. You've heard the term, or you may have heard the term, content is king in the digital marketing space. And it really, that content, visual content, has to resonate. People are naturally drawn to images and videos, and they often spend more times interacting with them than plain text. You probably know that from your own self. Images and videos, they can stop the user in their track, they can compel them to watch, they can compel them to click, or even share. This is part of the reason why TikTok is so addictive. You are scrolling through videos, these fast videos that are compelling, they're keeping your attention for a minute, and then you can continue. And again, you can use these videos on platforms that are like TikTok, that are like Reels and so forth. Let's talk about Google Ads as a platform. We talked about Google Ads in terms of advertising. Let's talk about it quickly as a platform. So Google Ads is the go-to platform for most advertisers when they are wanting to tap into Google's vast user base. Again, if you don't have a niche market, then you are probably using Google. And it is the go-to place, and it has features like keyword targeting, like bid strategies, and comprehensive analytics. I just dropped some really big words, so let's get into it. Okay, let's delve a little bit into it. So Google Ad is not just about, well, it's not just popular because it's Google. Its platform sophistication is truly what sets it apart. Advertisers, they have the power to zero in on their target audience with precision. And I mean precision. And that is through a feature called, or features like keyword targeting. What this does is that it ensures the ad appears for highly relevant search, and that maximizes the ROI. So think about it this way. You can either have a keyword that your target audience is using, that you're saying, okay, well, this is exactly what they're saying. This is exactly what I want to show up when they type this exact word. Or it could be something similar or something along the lines. And because Google is such an advanced and such a powerful platform, it can be a bit diverse. And so the algorithm will know that this is something similar. They're asking for things that are like what you are offering. And so they put that in front of the eyes of the people who are meant to see it. Apart from that, you have these various bidding strategies. So advertisers, they can really optimize their campaign based on specific goals. Let's say they want to raise awareness. That's a goal. If they want to have people fill out forms, that's another goal. And they can be very specific. And that can be clicks, conversion, visibility, whatever it is. Google can help you do that. And to top it all off, the platform's analytics capabilities, they really, really, really provide an in-depth insight. And that allows marketers to really understand the campaign, or even business owners, depends on who's doing the work. Well, it provides them with the understanding of how this campaign is performing. And they make sure that the data-driven decisions continually refine their approach. So you've got display, video, apps, all these. Google Ads covers this wide range of advertising. A quick look at Google's ad dashboard. It generally, when you're looking at it, it provides this holistic view of campaigns. It can show you different ad groups and different ad performances. It can look at metrics like clicks, like impressions, like click-through rates and conversion to help measure success. And it is an interface that allows advertisers to make real-time changes, to set budgets, and to track their ROI. If you want to set up a campaign on Google Ads, and again, I'm not going in depth in any of these because we will do that. We'll cover that later on. But for today, if you want to start setting up this Google Ads, you want to have a very clear objective. Okay, you want to know if you're doing this for awareness, if you're doing this for sales, if you're doing this for website traffic, or whatever you're doing this for, you have to have a very clear idea. Once you have that, once you choose that, or you can do that with the help of Google, or you can do that on your own, where their recommendations aren't controlling how much or what exactly you're doing. The more you get to know the platform, the more you can play around with it. And that's the pretty cool thing. Then what you want to do is you want to select your keywords. And you can use within Google, you can use the keyword planner tool. You could obviously do that outside of Google too through other platforms. But for our sake, you want to use the keyword planner tool. You want to set bids and you want to write a compelling ad copy, which we kind of talked about earlier today. Inside that, you can also monitor, you can also optimize based on performance metrics and feedback. Of course, we have Bing, which does a very similar thing to Google. It offers very similar features if you're on their platform as well. And they tap into different demographics, different demographic users. And so that's something, they are very similar in terms of how their dashboard looks, in terms of their campaign performances, and in terms of the metrics they use. They also use a tool called Audience Network, and that allows for broader targeting beyond the search. You want to set up your Bing campaign in a very similar manner that you want to do for Google as well. Okay, so you want to do it in a very similar way. You have to identify your goal. If you're looking to increase sales, leads, website visits, whatever it is, you have to set a goal. You have to use the keywords. Again, same step, different platform. And you want to regularly, in both cases, you want to regularly review the performance data to make sure you are making the necessary adjustments. And also, tip of the day. We're going to talk about tips in a minute, but tips of the day. Make sure you have an end date for every single advertisement that you have, because it is much better for you to say, oh no, I forgot to add another week on my advertisement, than to go back and say, oh no, I spent $300 that I did not want to spend on this campaign. So keep that in mind. Again, if you want to compare Google and Bing, one has a larger audience, one has a lower CPC rate. You have a bit of a different demographic and so forth. So, what are some of the best practices in general, my friends, in a world of digital advertising? A focus direction. This focus direction is paramount. So before launching any campaigns, it is essential to define what you aim to achieve, be it a brand awareness, lead generation, or direct sales. These objectives form the foundation upon which the entire campaign is built. That's what you want to have. You want to make sure that the objective is there. Once the objective is set, you have to establish a clear KPI, which are key performance indicators, and they become the next step. Key performance indicators, they quantify metrics that allows advertisers to track the progress, measure success, and determine the ROI. Whether you are looking through click-through rates, conversion rates, or average value order, KPI acts as the yardstick against which campaign performance is measured. Another thing, you want to write concise ad copies with a clear call to action. I cannot stress that enough. Again, you have a very brief window to capture the user's attention and to prompt them to take action. So you have to do this. And to be able to do this, your ad copy must be relevant to the user's intent. It has to be succinct to ensure quick comprehension, and it has to be compelling to drive action. And so the call to action in particular is a pivotal component, whether it is shop now, whether it's learn more, get a free quote. A well-crafted call to action can make the difference between a passive view and an engaged customers. So keep that in mind. Last thing, regularly review and optimize your campaign. You want to adjust your bids. You want to focus on your keywords, and you want to change your targeting as necessary. User behavior in the market, it tends to trend, and competitor strategies are constantly evolving. So it is imperative for you to stay agile and adaptive. And this means regularly diving into performance data. It means gleaning insight and making necessary adjustments. So maybe a particular keyword is underperforming, or perhaps a bid adjustment can secure a more prominent ad placement. Whatever the case is, you have to continuously optimize to ensure that campaigns remain effective, cost effective, and aligned with objectives. And that is by staying proactive and staying on top of your game. Lastly, my good friends, last things I want to leave you with. Paid search advertising is a dynamic and impactful digital marketing avenue. Keep tabs on it. It is not going anywhere anytime soon. It is a great way to connect with potential customers, and it capitalizes on users' active intent when they are searching for information, for products, for services. So making it particular opponent tool in the marketer's arsenal. Okay. You have to keep this in mind. The other thing, platforms like Google, Bing's, they offered vast opportunity to reach potential customers. Take advantage of that. And lastly, as I said before, stay updated, have a clear goal, recognize optimizations or recognize things that are important for optimizing your ROI in the paid search campaigns. And that is it for today. I am so glad to have been with you, and I will be with you in the next one. Bye for now.